What's up, guys? Very happy to be back today with another video. Guys, so this is going to be the first video in the series that I spoke to you guys recently about. That series is going to be teaching you how to bodybuild. So I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. Bodybuilding mini-series, kind of like the weight loss mini-series that we had in the past. Or, I don't know, Bodybuilding 101. Don't know yet, but we'll figure it out, guys. So in this particular series, I just want to discuss to you what you're going to get out of it. Now, I'm not going to be standing in front of this camera doing a whole bunch of reps and teaching you guys different movements. I'm not going to be doing all that. What I am going to be doing is discussing a whole bunch of different things that you guys probably don't know when it comes to bodybuilding. Now, the reason why this idea of this series was, came up was because I had a couple of subscribers reach out to me and say that they didn't know what taking sets to failure was. Now, this is something that, maybe many of you know, maybe many of you don't know. This is the type of thing we're going to be discussing during this series. We're going to be talking about the principles that you need to know in order to make your bodybuilding worth your time. Because you could quite literally be bodybuilding for years on end and not get any results. And you might be thinking, well, this is maybe my genetic potential, this is all my body can do, or, what am I doing wrong, or maybe it's my eating, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Guys, we're going to be discussing all the principles that you guys need to know. Just like in the weight loss mini-series, we discussed all the principles that you guys would need in order to lose weight successfully and be able to keep it off. As you guys know, if you follow the channel, I've gone from 210 pounds to now 145 pounds in about, I want to say now it's been like maybe 8 months or 9 months, something along those lines. I'm not the greatest with the timelines, but you guys can see it's been a very short period of time. And, so that's where we're at right now. This series is going to teach you what you need to know in terms of bodybuilding and how to get the fastest results as possible. Many people reach out to me often and they say, Joe, I want the results that you get. Give me those results. Show me what to do. Because we have a lot of people on the channel who have bought Tonals because they've seen the results that I've received in part because of Tonal. And they're like, Joe, I'm not getting those results. Well, guys, there's going to be a lot of principles behind bodybuilding that maybe you need to know in order to get those results. Now, in this first video, I want to just discuss something with you that you guys are very well aware of. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a certified personal trainer. Although many personal trainers don't have to be certified in any way, shape, or form. I'm not certified. So you're going to be receiving a lot of my own personal experience from this. A lot of the knowledge that I've gained over the years of bodybuilding, because I've been bodybuilding for years. And you're also going to receive a lot of the information that I've come to know about Tonal and also the Handy Gym. As you guys know, I use both those products. Both of these pieces of equipment have amazing potential for the eccentric phase. And guys, if you look at the beginning of my videos, if you go back to the first Tonal video that I ever made, I'm a lot heavier. I also have a lot less muscle mass. Guys, I want you to keep in mind something. If you're watching this series and you have regular dumbbells, that's fine. If you're using, resistance bands, that's fine. If you're using a Max Pro, that's fine. It doesn't matter what you're using. The principles that we're going to be talking about are going to help you to build the most muscle that I can tell you in my unprofessional, I guess we'll call it unprofessional opinion, right? Because I'm not a professional, right? But you guys have asked me to help you, so I'm here to help you if I can. But these principles are going to help you no matter what piece of equipment you're using. But keep in mind, this is a big one. I use eccentric training a lot in the workouts that I do. Eccentric training is going to build your muscle at minimum double fast. Okay? Coupled with all the other things that we're going to talk about. Proper form, proper nutrition, all that stuff we're going to get into. But keep in mind, we're going to be discussing with the Tonal, primarily, because I use the Tonal. We're going to be discussing with the Handy Gym. All the principles that I bring to the table, they're going to help you. But keep in mind that eccentric training is a huge deal. It's a huge part of the training that I do. So I can give you all of the principles that I work with. They're all going to help you. You're going to build as much muscle as I can help you build during this series. But keep in mind, if you're working out, for example, let's say with a Max Pro, or let's say with adjustable dumbbells, or something along those lines, and you don't have a way to ramp up on the eccentric, you're going to see less results, okay? I've discussed in many videos in the past how eccentric training has been proven to be the greatest way, the fastest way, the quickest, most efficient way to build muscle. And you guys can see that in the results that I've seen. Take a look at my beginning videos and take a look at me now. I am the result of, number one, consistency, and number two, eccentric training. Of course, all the other principles that we're going to talk about as far as nutrition goes, as far as, everything else that we're going to discuss in this series, all those things matter. But keep in mind, your circumstances are going to vary depending on the equipment you're using. All right? So if you are using, again, for example, a Max Pro, something that only has concentric phase on it, you are going to receive a lot less results in the amount of time that I have. That's just what it is. There's really, no way around that unless you get a piece of equipment, or maybe I'll get regular dumbbells or something that will give you an eccentric, right? To be able to rip your muscles down even more. So guys, again, keep in mind certain circumstances will change. Another example, something that's going to cause a change is if you don't have the ability to have as much protein as what I recommend, 1 gram per pound of lean body mass, that might hinder your progress. Will it hinder it altogether? No, of course not. All the principles that we talk about are going to help you. Try to do as many of them to the best of your ability as possible. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not certified in any way, shape, or form. I'm just quite literally telling you guys what I've been doing in very specific detail because you guys have reached out to me and said, Joe, we want your results. How do I get your results? Well, I'm going to stand in front of this camera and tell you guys what I've been doing because that's going to get you closer to my results than you are right now. Okay, so that's what we're going to be discussing during this series, guys. I hope this series is going to benefit many people. That's the goal, right? We want to all benefit from this. Guys, building muscle doesn't happen overnight. If you look at me and you see where I started, just a short, probably less than a year ago, to where I am now, you're going to be looking at me like, well, Joe, it looks like it built overnight for you. Now, in my circumstance, guys, it wasn't newbie gains because I've been working out with weights for years, right? It wasn't steroids. A lot of people have asked me whether or not I'm on cycle. I'm not on any type of steroids. Guys, it's consistency and it's having all of the aspects of the weight training dialed in, okay? And having Tonal on your wall and having Handy Gym in your book bag, those things just make it easier. Because when you come home and you have a Tonal on your wall and you can ramp up on that eccentric training at a whim, whenever you want, whether it's 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the morning, it doesn't matter. You have a piece of equipment like a Tonal on your wall, guys, you are in good hands. You could be pushing on the concentric 40 pounds and then come down with 80 pounds on the eccentric. You are getting ripped up faster than you could possibly imagine. With the Handy Gym in my book bag, I travel around every single day with my gym. Every single day. I am never without my gym. I'm doing chest flies, I'm doing bicep curls, I'm doing squats, I'm doing this, I'm doing that on the go when I'm on vacation. You know what I'm saying? So with equipment like this, it makes it very easy. Again, your equipment might make it a little bit more difficult. But to the best of your ability, use what you can from this series. I really hope it helps. And consistency, guys. Muscle building does not happen overnight. Back to what I was saying. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. It takes effort. There's a difference, guys, between getting a pump and having the blood go to the muscle. There's a difference between that and ripping down your muscle to shreds so that it can grow back again. I remember back when I used to go to the gym, the physical gym in high school, and I used to see the same adults. I was a kid in a gym in high school, and it was a public gym where we would go to work out. And you would have adults come in, and for years I would watch the same adults come in. And they were getting less gains than me, and I was a kid, and they were like in their 25 years old. I'm like 16 years old, 17 years old. They're like 25-year-old. They're coming into the gym. And over a period of like 2 or 3 years, I see the same guy coming in doing the same workout every single other day or every day. And they're getting no gains. This guy may not have known what I'm going to tell you in this series. Of course, he didn't have the advantage of having a tonal. He didn't have the advantage of having a handy gym. The technology back then wasn't, so sophisticated where you could load up on that eccentric phase. But he also might not have been taking advantage of the eccentric phase on the weightlifting equipment he was using. He might not also have had his sleep dialed in. He might not also have been eating enough protein. He might have been going on a 2-mile run after his weight training, which will prevent you from being able to recover properly. So your body cannot build muscle. All these things he might have been doing. These might be things that you're doing or not doing. So we're going to get into it. We're going to get into detail. We're going to break it down as far as I see bodybuilding go. We're going to discuss everything that I do. I'm going to give you everything that I can to try to help you guys to get the most out of your bodybuilding. Because when you come into your gym, when you get on your tonal, when you pick up your handy gym, when you go into a physical gym, when you pick up your adjustable dumbbells, when you pick up your weight bands, your resistance bands, when you pick up your Max Pro, when you step in front of your mirror, right, with your regular weights, you don't want to waste your time. The reason why we pick up weights is to build. Bodybuilding. Bodybuilding for a reason. You have many people who use weights or whatever weight equipment to just get a pump, which is fine if that's what you want. But there's a difference between a pump and getting blood into your muscles. There's a difference between that and building. So if you want to build, do what I tell you to do in this channel. It's everything that I've been doing. Again, not a doctor, not a scientist, not any type of professional. But if you guys want the results that I've seen in the amount of time that I've seen them, I'm going to bring you as close to that as I can by giving you everything on these videos in this series that I can give in terms of this. Okay, guys? So I hope this video was helpful. This is just the beginning. I plan on getting some more stuff out when I can. I also have, as you guys know, a whole bunch of other stuff on, on my list that I have to hit as far as request videos. So we're going to be doing, a mix of each as we've been doing, as I did with the weight loss mini series. We'll be going back and forth, but keep an eye out, guys. I'll try to get the content out as soon as possible so you guys can get going. Having a personal trainer is great. They're going to stand there and tell you, go like this with the weights. That's not what we're doing during this series. We'll dive in a little bit into that. I'll be obviously showing you what to do in certain respects, but this series is not to teach you routines. This series is not to show you this is how you lift a weight. I'm not going to be doing what the tonal trainers do, where they say, okay, now you do the squat and you go like this and your form has to be a little bit more like this. No, we're going to be talking. And I'm going to tell you why you're lifting the weight, why you need proper form, why you need to focus on that eccentric, why you need to have enough sleep, why you need enough protein, okay? And I'm going to do it in basic terms. Because, again, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm going to tell you why I've been doing everything that I've been doing, why it's going to help you in normal human terms, and that's what we're going to be doing, because a lot of this stuff you might not know. I remember when I was a kid, I knew that I wanted to get into shape, so I picked up weights. I was 8 years old. I picked up weights, and I was using the weights when I was 8 years old. I didn't know why. I just knew I wanted to get into shape. I knew I wanted to look like Arnold. You know what I mean? So I pick up the weights, and I go like this. But I didn't know why. I didn't know the principles that you needed to know in order to build. I was a kid. Nobody taught me. You think it's simple. You pick things up and you put them down. It's not that simple. All right, guys. So I look forward to seeing you guys at an upcoming video. I hope you're all safe. I hope you're all well. And I will catch you guys at the next one. Talk soon.